Looks like the Chiefs maybe are favoring contract extension for Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith over Nick Bolton. That was kind of the story that I'm pretty sure it was Nate Taylor at The Athletic put out there here a few days ago. I thought it was interesting. We put it on here. That's this week's CKL poll. Like I said, if you haven't voted on it, voting's still open. You can get over there and put your vote in. I'm not going to say Creed Humphrey is the wrong choice, but the idea that it was kind of a no-brainer and just how far ahead he is of Nick Bolton was a little surprising to me, not going to lie. Again, not saying that that's not who they should keep, but they are both really, really, really good players at their position. Nick Bolton's not a scrub by any stretch of the imagination, right? He's the inside linebacker. He's had his first year he came on and really played well, and then he had, I want to say he had like 130 tackle season the year after. Now injuries did slow him down last year, and Drew Tranquill came in and kind of plugged that hole for the Chiefs. But Nick Bolton's not a slouch, and the guy that wears the
even
green
with a
dot,
broken wrist and getting surgery, he still performed with Drew Tranquill, right?
I mean, he had the scoop and score against the Eagles in the Super Bowl. He's had a lot of tackles for loss. He wears the green dot and is kind of the quarterback of the defense out there, getting guys lined up. Spags loves Nick Bolton, praises him very highly. I'd be interested to see who you guys picked, and in the chat here, who you voted for. I'm feeling maybe Brenda's going to say Nick Bolton. I know Nick Bolton. She's a big Nick Bolton fan, like Bo is.
Dude,
here.
Me too. I do. So you can see what I voted, right? I voted Humphrey, but I'll explain my answer here in a minute. Dude, this is a good question. I didn't know.
I'm very surprised.
Is this up for debate right now, though? Is this like a real thing? I really hope not. Like, we're not like.
Yeah, no. Nate Taylor was talking about it. He put a story out online earlier this week that I was kind of referencing in the lead to the poll here, that the Chiefs are looking at maybe prioritizing Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith maybe over like a Nick Bolton extension. Bo, I'm a little surprised you voted Creed Humphrey.
Dude, yeah, I know. Nick Bolton's my guy.
Why'd you go
man.
Creed? I know Nick's your guy, man. He's always been
guy's jersey. I got a ball.
Too,
I
fucking traitor.
Man, dude, like that's what I'm saying. This was a great question, but I think the reason why I voted, and I feel like most people did, was just simply like the protection package you get protecting Mahomes, right? Like, as much as I love Nick Bolton, I love Mahomes a lot more, man. Like, Mahomes done a little bit more. I'm not saying Nick Bolton isn't a slouch. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not discrediting the guy. I love the guy.
Right.
I'd rather see Mahomes get protected perfectly rather than Nick Bolton, making a few plays and whatnot. Yeah. But with that being said, Nick Bolton is an all-star stud. I praise him. You had a great off-season question, like what's your wild Chiefs prediction for the season, right? My Chiefs prediction is Nick Bolton will have 2 touchdowns in a game, right? So like I am clearly on that guy's side. I just think this is a great question, and the reason I voted Creed was just for that. You that guarantee, that like Pat will be okay on like 98% of his snaps or something. Creed usually gets the upper end on it, so that's why I voted that way. Just that one little factor.
Yeah, Nick, you signing Creed over Nick Bolton?
No, I picked Nick Bolton. I guess now we really know who the real Nick Bolton fan is.
Yeah, exactly.
Look,
we lost 5 more fans now.
Put that jersey and ball in the mail, Bo.
Just bring it here. I'll send you on Center.
Look, give it a proper home.
Look, so my thinking here is, you're right, Scott. They're both great players, and I'm thinking about if you have to replace them, and let's say you replace one of them with a mediocre to maybe even below average player, which one will impact the team more? I think it's easier for the guards and the tackles to make up for a mediocre center than it is for the defense to make up for a mediocre linebacker. Nick Bolton also, he wears the mic, right? So he's the guy that's calling the plays. They call him, they call him the Patrick Mahomes of the defense, but I don't think they mean he's like Patrick Mahomes, like, level, right? But just because he's the guy that's like calling all the plays and getting people in position and stuff. And I just think that position wise, linebacker is harder to cover for if you got somebody that's not as good center. From my understanding, I think Jason Kelsey's talked about it on New Heights, where he's like, you can, through blocking schemes, you can help out guys because you got two guys right next to you, right? With double teams and stuff like that. And so I think that's why I thought that. And also, like, maybe I don't want to take Scott's talking points. I don't know what he's going to say, but Andy Reid's also like a old offensive line coach. So anyway, who'd you vote for, Scotty?
But wait, real quick. To your argument though, real quick, Nick. We did see Nick Bolton go out. We haven't seen Creed leave, right? And our defense, I mean, it suffered a little bit, but we saw Drew. We named him Triple A. Tranquil come in and kind of save, right? So I mean, like, we've seen that experiment run out. We haven't seen Creed get out though. So I mean, it's a little apples to oranges, but I mean, we've seen that play out, and we know that the defense can still perform.
Yeah, look, Chiefs made a smart move and got a little lucky that the Chargers decided to let Drew Tranquil go. We talked about this last year, how funny it is. All the big money contracts they handed out to bring guys in to catch the Chiefs, and they let Drew Tranquil walk, and he goes to the Chiefs and then wins the Bowl with them. That's, like, to me, is one of the funniest things. That, like, so as far as like Chiefs-Chargers rivalry, it'll go down in that history. Will be the Drew Tranquil switching teams and getting the ring. But look, I don't know. Here's the thing, like, just like I said, they're both really good. I agree with Nick's point. You can make up for a center maybe a little bit easier if you got other good linemen around there. I mean, I actually voted Nick Bolton. I was really kind of
I don't even know what
on it. Look, here's the deal.
This week or something.
Damn. Look, here's the thing to me too. Like, the Chiefs have shown an ability to draft and bring in centers, right? They had Rodney Hudson a number of years ago. He was one of the, if not the highest graded center by all of these grading sites and these experts, whatever you want to call them. They let him go to the Raiders, let him walk. They bring in another guy, and he comes in, and they don't miss a beat, right? And now the guy's name, he went to the Bills. Mitch Morse brought him in.
Oh,
It was a really, really good center. Came time to pay center money. The Chiefs didn't really want to pay him big time money. They have not shown that they really like to pay that kind of money at that position. Let him go. Then a couple of years later down the road, we end up with Creed Humphrey, right? So I'm just surprised, like I said, that there were so many people that thought it was that easy of a decision, and that the voting is that lopsided, especially with how popular Nick Bolton is. Man, Nick Bolton is a super popular player. Not that Creed isn't. I would like to say this for the people out there, and maybe someone, if you know the answer in the chat without Googling it, put it in the chat. But who was playing center for the Chiefs when they won Super Bowl 54, the first one against the 49ers? Does anybody know that without Googling it?
Oh, fuck.
I mean, they're talking
Winchester
like
was the
having the top
snapper.
center in the league is like a must, right? And protecting Patrick Mahomes. And if you don't have the great center, then, they don't win these Super Bowls, and they don't protect Patrick. I mean, they had Austin Ryder playing center in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
I'll give you the answer since I know neither of you guys are going to get it. I had to Google it myself. I had to look it up. I didn't know it off the top of my head. So
I may or may not have an Austin Ryder signed Chiefs Kingdom flag, right, and I still didn't think of his name.
Right. So look,
there you go.
Is the right guy Creed Humphrey? Keeping it, that may be. I'm not necessarily even arguing that's the wrong move, but
I think it's a great
question.
Act
like it's a no-brainer, slam dunk, simple choice. I really don't think that it is, man.
I mean, it is lopsided. I don't think it's a simple choice, though, man. Right? But like, to everything you said about like our ability to draft and replace certain positions. I mean, our defense, we've been able to do that with every position. We've been able to draft young and have a pretty decent defense. And I mean, all of the past 3 years, we've had, I think, the youngest defense, or like top 5 youngest defense in the league for the past 3 years. So I mean, It's also, I mean, yeah, it's a great question, dude. I don't think it's like a no brainer. I just think, man, that little thing about, keeping Patrick safe versus can we get another guy in this position is kind of outweighs that just a little bit more. That's just my humble opinion, but man, I can't believe you guys both voted for him. And we flip flopped. It should have been the other. I thought it was gonna be 2-1. I thought I was going with you guys on this one.
When I saw the little check mark on Creed there, I was thinking, like, is that BuzzFeed? Like,
yeah, this is my.
Am I seeing that right? Am I hallucinating? I think that stuff just kicked in. Yeah, like I said, if you haven't voted yet, polls are still open. You can go check it out and put your vote in.
1,200 views, only 167 votes. Come on, guys, it's just one click.
Right. I mean, it's looking like
got this.
It's looking to me like the Chiefs are probably going to keep Creed if Nate Taylor is putting that out there. Right. He's a connected guy. He's got sources with the team. So,
Sam's asking best Chiefs O-line player of all time here.
Nick Bolton goes is going to be a tough one. Best Chiefs O-line player all time. That's got to be Will Shields, right? I mean, multiple times All-Pro, Hall of Famer,
friend of the show, Joe Valerio,
Walter Payton Man of the Year,
reception completion Will from Shields. Joe Montana,
Willie Rofe.
I was going to say Rofe is probably second, but
yeah, widely regarded as the greatest left tackle of all time. But he played his last few years with the Chiefs, right? Willie Rofe. I mean, I don't.
And Will Shields, I think he played like some kind of crazy amount of consecutive snaps too, right?
Yeah, almost basically his entire career. He played his entire career with the Chiefs. He's a Hall of Fame lineman. Willie Rofe played for the Saints for a long time before he came here.
Go for KC forever. John Alt, that's a good poll.
Good one. Yeah, no, that's a good choice. I mean, there's lots of good ones, but just go look at Will Shields' accolades. And like you said, Nick, the consecutive games played and just the players that, I mean, he, on that Monday night game against the Ravens, he was in Ray Lewis's head and shutting that dude down. I mean, he looked like a freaking practice squad player out there when he was going up against Will Shields. And they kept having Ray Lewis on the sidelines. They double me every play, man. They keep doubling me, man. I don't know how they keep doubling me. And then you go back and you watch the tape and they ain't doubling you, bro. Will Shields just locking you down. So
Will Shields is a double in himself, right?
Right,
it's
exactly.
Like double teamed.
Yeah, I'll give an honorable mention to center Tim Grunhard. He's up there. He's a Ring of Honor guy, right?
Honor played a long time for the Chiefs. Really good player, and at the center position, like we were just talking about with Creed. So
yeah.
I mean, I'm going to go Will Shields, greatest of all time there on Chiefs offensive lineman. Brian Waters would be a good choice too. He played a long time on the other side of the center there on the line. Really, really good player. But
Juwan Taylor, greatest distraction man of all time.
Yeah,
everybody's looking right. We go left. They flag it every time, but he's got everybody
Eric
looking
Fisher.
at him.
Yeah,
Eric, the number one draft choice, Eric Fisher.
Right.